Hello, welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is ChaosMole, and today we have a recap of the Gamescom Opening Night Live 2021. If you have already seen my reaction video, you came to the right place. If you haven't seen my reaction video yet, you will find the link in the video description, and there you can check it out and then look for yourself how I thought about all the announcements. But what we are doing here this time, and this is kind of interesting, I want to make like a recap about the games which were shown. We would do this without sound because they used so many copyrighted material in those trailers that, well, my first upload of my reaction video got so many copyright strikes, or not strikes, but copyright infringements. Like, I had a long list. So please excuse me if there is no sound in the background, because, well, I don't want to get too much into trouble, as I already do. So let's start out with the first game which really captivated my attention, and that was Saints Row. So Saints Row basically got a reboot. Like, it's not Saints Row 5, it's not Saints Row 6 or anything like that. They're just calling it Saints Row. Now, this is not the first Saints Row remade. It's really just, how a lot of games are doing nowadays, just slapping the name on a game, even though we already have a game which is called Saints Row. And, well, they showed a cinematic trailer, which you can see in the background, which looked kind of nice. And then they also showed a good chunk of gameplay. Yeah. Or, well, good chunk of gameplay is the wrong terminology here. It was a very small chunk of gameplay. And it looked Saints Row so far. It seems like they're going back to the old Saints Row 1 and 2 days, where they were not completely going overboard with the silliness. I thought 3 was still okay. I didn't like 4. I know it's not really 4, it was actually like a standalone expansion they had planned for Saints Row 3, but then they called it Saints Row 4. And I didn't like Saints Row 4. Like, the whole thing about having superpowers and whatnot, and it was the same map again. It's like, oh no, I just can't. Like, Saints Row 3 was still alrightish, but I think Saints Row 2 hit the tone better. I've not played Saints Row 1. I've never played Saints Row 1. But I think Saints Row 2, which I actually played, definitely hit the tone better. Like, they try to be a very silly GTA. And it seems like they are trying to be the same thing here again. And I'm okay with that. Funny enough, I have heard about this game last year's summer. That's the first time I heard about this game. And I have not seen it then. I just heard about it. So when I actually saw the trailer yesterday, I was like, is this Saints Row? Because it sounded a little bit like the stuff I have heard before. And I was like, all right. Like, the city looks cool. We have multiple gangs here again. It seems to have like multiple interesting characters. And it seems like this time you are playing a female like boss. I don't really know exactly what it is, but they made it sound like as if you don't really create your own character this time, which would be rather interesting, because they have normally always done that, right? That you can create your own character, and it could be male or female, and you could also choose the looks. But yeah, I don't really know how they do it. And frankly speaking, I don't care. I have played so many games where you were playing like a female character, and I've played so many games where you were playing a male main character, and I really, really do not care. Like, for me, it's all the same in the end. But I know that some people like to customize their own characters, they like to change their gender, and that's fair. But I'm looking forward to this. Like I'm kind of curious. Like I think I have actually reached the point where I can say I'm ready for another Saints Row game. Like when Saints Row 3 came out, I was really happy about it. Then Saints Row 4 came out, and I was already like, this is too much. And then Saints Row Get Out of Hell. Oh, God. That was just too much. That was just too much. You know? And I'm actually kind of happy that they decided to say, okay, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, we should start anew here and see where we are going, right? Like try something completely new city, completely like different characters, and just being its own thing. And you know what? I'm looking forward to that. I'm really, really looking forward to that. I want to see more gameplay, but from what we have seen, let me actually jump a little bit forward here where they're showing the gameplay. From what we have seen in that 10 seconds here, it looked good. It looked actually fun and good. So I'm okay with this. Like it seems to be the right amount of over the top, but not as crazy as Saints Row 4 or even Saints Row 3. And I'm cool with that. Yep. Hey, Crisper, thank you so much for the elixir. I do appreciate that. Oh, yeah, let's talk about this game. So I first thought this was like a new Marvel Avengers character or something like that, like Marvel mobile game. I have to admit I didn't saw it coming because I have completely forgotten about it for a moment. This is the Marvel Firaxis game, Midnight Suns, which was leaked a few weeks ago, right? That Firaxis, the creator of XCOM and Civilization, is working on a Marvel game or an XCOM game based on a Marvel, right? And when I first saw this, I was like, huh, this is a new mobile game, isn't it? No. It's exactly the XCOM Marvel game. And you know what? When I first heard about it, I didn't give a damn about this. And then I saw this trailer and I was like, you know what? This could actually work. Especially because you're not playing a Marvel hero, you're playing this character, the Hunter, so to speak. And apparently this is your mother, the tentacle, what's her name? Lilith. Yeah, Lilith, the mother of monsters. And I'm like, you know what? This could actually work, right? Like you were playing the character, you can completely customize the Hunter, and you then can build up your own team of Marvel characters and going into missions. I'm very curious if they will use permadeath. I'm very curious about that. But this is, by the way, what I said earlier, right? When people make an argument of Marvel Avengers cannot make it so that the characters look different when you get new equipment, right? Like people have always said this, like, yeah, look, I know that people don't like this, that your character's looks don't change when you like get new epic or legendary equipment in the game, but they cannot really do that. Like, I mean, it's the Marvel characters. I was like, weird. This game can apparently do it. Like, sure, this is just them being completely golden, you know, but there's definitely somewhere an equipment change. And so apparently it is possible to do that. And they also had the smart idea to say that you are not playing the Marvel characters directly, but you have your own main character. and then you are playing with the Marvel characters. So I assume you can completely go crazy on your own character and completely deck him out with new equipment, but you cannot really change the equipment of the other Marvel characters so much because they are bound by how the Marvel universe looks, right? So I'm okay with this. Hey, Tarts, thank you so much for the host. Good evening. Like, I'm really curious to see the gameplay. Unfortunately, well, we haven't seen any gameplay yet. That is coming on Tuesday next week, September 1st. So we would definitely watch that. But yeah, I mean, this look. I'm kind of curious because, as I said, the first time I heard about it, I didn't give a damn about this game because I was like, oh, Marvel in the Avengers thingy, right? It's like, oh, Marvel. Not sure how I feel about a Marvel XCOM game, right? And now I'm kind of curious to see how it looks. Yeah, I'm really, really curious about this. So I'm looking forward to it. I will definitely check out the gameplay reveal and we'll probably make another video about it. I hope it will be a beefy one and not just, here's the gameplay reveal, 15 minutes of talking and 2 minutes of gameplay. I was like, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, that looked pretty cool. I'm actually kind of curious to see what it will be. I'm good, Tans. Thanks so much for asking. I will jump over the Call of Duty part. We will not cover that in any shape or form, which is kind of unfortunate because Call of Duty was one of like the biggest segments of the whole event. And by the way, for everyone who is watching this on YouTube, if you're wondering, I'm live streaming right now, so I do actually talk to my community. If you're like, who is he talking to? I'm live streaming it. Holy smokes, Tarts, thank you so much for the 1000 elixir. And for whatever reason, my alert is not going off. That really sucks. But thank you so much for the 1000 elixir, man. Thank you so much for it. And thank you so much for the cash bang. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. It is very much appreciated. There's a lot of support. Thank you. So the next game we wanna talk about briefly here is Halo Infinite. That was shown yesterday, and I really don't have much to say here. Like, they gave us the release date, right? They showed like this multiplayer cinematic, which has nothing to do with the multiplayer. Like, well, nothing to do is the wrong term. Like, apparently the women you see here in the cinematic is also the like sergeant who's training you, and like there is a little bit of story. They're doing something similar like Apex Legends or League of Legends does, like all those live service games where they're trying to spin a story around the multiplayer, but then when you are playing the game, the story basically has nothing to do with it. And that's what you were seeing in the background, but that's not really what I want to talk about. They have finally gave us the release date for the multiplayer and the campaign of Halo Infinite. And let me see, not that I'm saying anything wrong here. It is December... What is it? December 8th? I think it's December 8th when they are announcing it. Yeah, it is December 8th. Thank you, chat. And hey, Sakra. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Yeah, December 8th is where it's coming out. And I have to admit, you can pre-order it now. Don't pre-order it. There's no reason for it. But I don't get it. Like, they have showed nothing of the campaign since last year when there was this big backlash. And now we have a release date for December 8th. And I'm like, really? At this point, you still don't want to show us anything about the campaign? Okay, that's worrying. Like, it doesn't fill me with confidence, to say the least. Yeah, it doesn't really fill me with confidence, and I'm curious about that. Oh, speaking about this, okay, not gonna lie, I don't care for the controller. Like, the controller is like whatever. But they had another announcement, and it's right here, like the console they're showcasing with the stars and the cyber looking thing, the limited edition. Not gonna lie, I was like, dude, if I wouldn't have a PC, which I have, I would actually buy this. Like, this looks actually really neat. And I think this is also the first custom-made console. So they're slowly starting that up, it seems, which makes sense. Like, a lot of people have speculated about this, like we will see like a lot of custom consoles because you can do so much with it. I mean, what is it? Xbox Pope, who is like an Xbox artist for years now. Like, he was freaking out when he saw the Xbox Series X, and he was like, oh my god, the things I can do with it. So it makes sense that also Microsoft is now starting it, and it looked good. It looked good. I like this style. It looked really pretty. I like that. Oh, yeah. So the next game. I have been sitting here with my first reaction, and I was just smiling the whole time. I was in awe when I saw this game. This is Cult of the Lamb, and even Jeff is like laughing because he has already seen this trailer, of course. And it's by Massive Monster and published by Devolver. I said it in my video. Like, I haven't found a single bad Devolver game yet. I haven't found one, but this is a roguelike game, or roguelike action adventure game. But not only that, you are actually a cult master. Like, you are the cult of the lamp, and you have to build up your own cult and your own cult city, as you can see right here, right? Like, that is an actual thing that you have to control your cult and you have to foster it. But then you have also those roguelike elements where you have to fight through dungeons, get new equipment, new abilities, and get new stuff for your little village. And man, it looks so good. Look at this. It gives me the Binding of Isaac vibe a little bit, and then combined with Don't Starve. And then, of course, the whole idea that you build your own little cult city. Like, that's so adorable. I love it. Like, this game really made me smile, and I was like, oh no, I need that. We would definitely check this game out when it comes out. Again, it looks fantastic. It really looks fantastic. Yeah, the tentacle. He's like shocked at first, and then he is completely happy. It's like, oh no, tentacle. Wait, tentacle. Hey, I like tentacles. Yeah, this looks again fantastic. Definitely a game I'm looking forward to. We don't really know release date, so we have to see how that goes. Where's the next game which really catched my attention? Let me see. Like, don't get me wrong, some of the smaller games they showed was kind of interesting, and I liked them. Definitely check them out. But they didn't really catch my attention. Let me see. Okay, we talk about this quickly. It's not really that it catched my attention, but we will talk about it anyways. Really? I mean, Outlast, but with up to 3 people? Nah. Pretty much nah. Like, you can play it alone if you so desire. But what they showed in the trailer, I was just like, nope. Don't look. I don't have to pee in my pants with my friends. Like, I don't have to pee in my pants with my friends together. Like, me peeing my pants alone in Outcast is, I think, enough. I know an animator on it. Cool. Yeah, I don't. No. Like, they made their point. This will be very creepy, and it will probably watch somebody peeing his pants with their friends. But I can certainly say, I am not that person. If you're wondering, Mole, will you play this game? My answer is no. No. Not at all. No thanks. Not necessary. Oh boy. Let's start to talk about this game. This game, by the way, managed, thanks to their music, to ban my YouTube video in over 200 countries. Thank you for using that specific music. I do appreciate that. This when you use K-pop music. But this is what is it called? DokeV. This particular scene, my reaction yesterday, yeah, it's called DokeV. And it's like an open world action adventure, which is like a little bit of Pokemon, a little bit of Monster Hunter, and it's like a little bit of GTA, so to speak. So there's a lot of like cool stuff in it. And it looks really good. It's by Pearl Abyss. This is the Black Desert Online engine they're using. And they showed a lot of this game. But this particular scene, I wanted to say, oh, Japan. Then I realized it's South Korea. Yeah, this one. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. There's no. No. But regardless of that one scene, this looked really cool. Like, this is like the fight. You were like in a storm or something. And if I understand the premise right, this is all in your imagination. Like, you were a kid, right? Like, this is all in your imagination. It's not like that you're really fighting against those real, like, big robots or something like that. It's like, yeah, you were a kid and this is in your imagination. Right? And it looked really cool. It seems like there are a lot of like mini games. The problem I have, like, this is not an MMO anymore. This is an open world adventure. I'm like, good. That probably means that you cannot, like, have a lot of annoying item shop items in it. Or I hope so, at least. Like, Black Desert Online, oh, I said it before, would be an amazing game. But the item shop is just devastating. It's a no-go for me. So I'm just hoping now that this is an open world action RPG and not an MMO, that the item shop will not be that bad. But yeah, it seems like you can have like companions which will fight at your side. You have like multiple classes, it seems, or not classes, but like depending on the equipment you have, you change like what you can do. And one last thing I really have to point out here. Oh, the frame rate in this. Oh, it's so framey. Like, it's really, really bad. And yeah, Black Desert, ladies and gentlemen. Like, as beautiful Black Desert is, the frame rate you are sometimes getting in that game is just abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. So I hope it will get a little bit better, but I will not hold my breath. But yeah, this looks cool. Like, this looks actually really, really cool. At the beginning, I was thinking like, oh, what? Oh, well, that looks like a... What is this children game? And then after like 20 seconds, I realized, no, this is actually like... It's actually pretty cool. Very colorful. Like, a lot of stuff going on. And yeah, it has been looking good. So this game, DokeV, was definitely on my list. Sure, let's talk about this one because it just popped up. I don't really want to talk too much about it. Like, this is Jurassic World Evolution 2. And as somebody who has played the first one, the first one was my least favorite, like, management game. Like, I understand what they wanted to do with the first one. They really wanted to focus on the dinos, and they wanted people that they're in on the Jurassic Park feeling, right? That's what they wanted. But because of that, I think everything else suffered. And in comparison to Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster, it felt lackluster. Because after a few hours, you had built everything you wanted to build, and you have done everything you wanted to do, and then it was just watching the dinosaurs. And even managing the dinosaurs was not really that interesting. So, at least what they're showing here with Jurassic World 2 is that there is actually like a lot to it this time. Like, not just the management part, but also like how you have to care for like a lot of dinos. And yeah, like, again, this looks actually like rather interesting, and I'm curious to see what they can do with it. So yeah, I might check it out, but it's not super high on my list. Oh yeah, let's also watch this one very quickly. So this is the Far Cry 6 story trailer. And I said it before, I'm kind of curious to check out Far Cry 6. I'm definitely curious to take a look and play it. Yeah. The one thing I pointed out in my reactions video yesterday, this game, when it comes to graphics, man, you can really see that this is like an in-between game, an in-between generations. Like, on one hand, they're trying really to push the graphics, but on the other hand, they couldn't abandon the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So you can see that if you're playing it on the old consoles, they can just lower the textures. The facial animation is weird because I think you can already see the low-res textures on the faces, which are just sitting there and be ready to be used on the console versions, on the old console versions. Like, I assume what they probably did, like, I don't know, I've not developed this game, but I assume what they did is, like, when you look at the faces and the textures, it's like they prepared it for the old consoles, and then for the new consoles and the PC, they just put the higher res textures over it. But yeah, that's basically like, hey, you're in between generation version of a game. But it still looks fun. It still looks cool. It seems like they're going back to the mix between fun but also seriousness. Like they seem to abandon the not the Far Cry, the Just Cause feeling a little bit more, which I'm okay with. I really, really didn't like Far Cry 5. And even 4. 4 was already the thing where it was like, whew, this feels more like Far Cry 3, but in a different area. So I'm still curious. I'm still curious, for sure. Ooh. Now, this game is actually something I didn't expect at all. And this is the next game we have to talk about. They didn't show too much about it, but it was fine. And this is Beyond Park. And man, look that fun! I am really hyped for it. Like, where Planet Coaster tried to be a relative realistic park simulation, Beyond Park is just like, yeah, you know what, let's go crazy. Let's go crazy. Let's just go crazy on this one. And you can actually establish like some really, really crazy like roller coasters and whatnot and attractions. And it looks really fun, really good. And I was actually surprised when I saw the developer. This is by Olympic. And you were like, huh, Olympic might ring a bell. Who's that again? This is the Tropico creators. Oh, well, no, this is not right. The Tropico 6 developers. Yeah, it's the Tropico 6 developers. The original Tropico developers who made Tropico 2 to 5. There's somebody else, and they're working on something else. But this is by Olympic, who made Tropico 6, which surprised me because A, Tropico 6 is only 2 years old, and B, they're still not done with Tropico 6. Like, Tropico 6 is still getting updates and still getting like new DLCs and all that, but I assume the main team already moved on and they really tried their own game. So I'm curious because Tropico 6 was alright. It was alright. The game they made before that is Heroes of Might and Magic 7. Sorry. What? And now they're working on this game. Now again, I sometimes have the feeling with Heroes of Might and Magic 7, it's not really their fault. It's more like Ubisoft who didn't want to give them a big budget. And they made it work with the budget they basically had. So I can't blame them for that. Yeah. But this looks really fun. Like I really love, and this is the thing which like really sold it for me. I first thought, oh yeah, it's another Planet Coaster game. Like after the success of Planet Coaster, and believe me, Planet Coaster made a lot of money for Frontier. It really speaks highly when you are just looking at the amount of DLCs that game is still getting. And I own them all. I have put multiple hundreds of bucks into that game. The first thought, okay, somebody wants to get in on that pie, right? Like somebody wants to make some money from this. But because of the impossibilification they're doing here, where they're just taking an attraction and just completely overdoing it, like this one here with the cannon, right? Like that's completely stupid. Or this one here, right? Like this is really what sold it for me. To take your normal roller coaster attraction, but then just go overboard with it. Just go overboard with it. And I love it. That is a really unique idea. and I'm looking forward to it. It's coming out next year, so I have to up my my numbers, because I know that Bandai Namco has a very strict content creator number program. Like, they want specific numbers before they even talk to you, which is a little bit unfortunate, but yeah. I'm really looking forward to that. I would definitely try to get my hands on the game as soon as possible. So, yeah. Let's talk about this game quickly. So, New World announced that they will have an open beta coming next week, and it will be for the weekend. And I have to say, I don't care. Like I said it before, I have now seen what I wanted to see about the game, and I've reached a point where I unfortunately have to say I do not care, really. Like, it's whatever. It's whatever. Like, it's not a bad game, but it doesn't do anything new. It doesn't do anything crazy. And it very much just feels like we had an idea, but we didn't really follow that idea through. And they're now doing an open beta. Cool. But what that means, and that's what I actually wanted to point out, this probably means that Lost Ark will not get a beta till end of September, if we're actually unlucky. Like, remember when I made a video, which has now thousands of views on YouTube, regarding the beta, and when the beta starts, and I said, yeah, I don't really see that the beta starts before September, and people were like downvoting it, calling me basically crazy and a person who's just talking off his ass and doesn't know what he is talking about. I was like, well, September is around the corner. Next weekend we have the open beta for New World, which definitely means we will not get a beta for Lost Ark, so that means I was right. I was right on this. Not because I want to be right, because I'm far more interested in Lost Ark than I am in New World, but I was right about it. I was like, don't shoot the messenger just because you don't like the message. And no, I'm not talking off my ass. I know the gaming industry, and I know to a certain degree how it works. Like, I know that some people still believe that the gaming industry is a complete mystery, but it isn't. And the marketing or the PR PR arm of Amazon Game Studios, they are focusing on one game. And right now, it is not Lost Ark they want to focus on. It's this game. Because this game has to be a success. If this game is not making Amazon a shit ton of money, this might be the end of Amazon Game Studios as a developer. Not as a publisher necessarily, but as a developer, yeah. This could be it. The make or break deal. And again, that means for Lost Ark, we have to wait even longer. It sucks. It really sucks. So, they're already 05. Well, they had 2 projects they tried, and that was really just early projects. Then they had 2 big games which failed. Then the Lord of the Rings MMO, which was still in early development. So technically they have 3. Yeah, Breakaway, Crucible, the Lord of the Rings MMO, which just got cancelled out on a whim. And they had 2 prototypes before that. And now this one. But yeah, we will see how it goes. Like, they need a success. After all those years, they need a banger. They need a real banger. Let me see. Do we have like any other game really which catched my eye, which we haven't talked about yet? Crossfire X looked so weird. But I think... Oh yeah. I mean, it's not really a new announcement, but this game definitely... Oh, Sifu. It looks so good. I am so looking forward to Sifu. The only thing I do not like, and they announced that yesterday, if you are buying the deluxe edition of Sifu, you can play the game 2 days before everybody else can. And it's like, don't do that. That is such a shitty practice. That is such a shitty practice. Like, I gave Microsoft a lot of shit when they started to do that with their $120 editions, like their Ultimate editions. And I gave Microsoft a lot of shit for it. And seeing this game now doing exactly that, it's like, oh no, don't do that. It's such a great game. Or it looks at least great. We will see how it plays. This is by the people who made Absolver, which was a pretty good game. I have to admit, they let it down pretty quickly. Like, Absolver basically came out and it was like a kind of live service, but they never really did anything with it. And I'm pretty sure he stabbed that dude in the crotch, like right in the dick. I'm pretty sure that's what he did at the end. Yeah, pretty much. And again, it looks fantastic. And we finally get a release date for it, which is also fantastic. But that they're giving us like early access for the deluxe edition. It's like, oh no, why are you doing this to me? It's so unfortunate. But that was it. Yeah. I'm like, as I said, like the one thing which really got me was the park thing. And let me see, do they have like maybe more? What is it called? They have a website. It's called impos.com, I think it was. Let me see. It is Impossify. Names. Impossify.com. Let's see. Oh, good. Goody. A website who is not asking me for the language I want to have this on. There we go. So it's coming out in 2022. And no, I don't want to get the newsletter. Stop it. Boop. There's the trailer we showed. As I said, release date 2022. I have some more pictures here. Man, it looks... the art style looks really similar to Planet Coaster. Possify Rides, which is kind of cool. Park Beyond. I assume this is like the first post. Yeah. Join us in 2022 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC for a game that will revolutionize amusement park simulations for the next generation. Alright. Yeah, I would definitely keep an eye out on this. This is definitely one of those games where I'm like super duper interested. Definitely one of those games. What was the other game? What was it called? The kids game. Well, it's not really a kids game, but well, technically is, but you know what I mean. It's for every age. Yeah, DokeV. Let's see. I know that they have a Twitter account. I know that for sure. Let me see. Do they have anything here? Let me also follow them. Oh, so that's what happened on YouTube. So as I said yesterday, when I uploaded DokeV on YouTube, I got like some bad copyright strike for that one. But apparently they posted now that they own the rights on that song, and they basically made it so that you are not getting into trouble anymore for any copyright violation whatsoever. Huh. Okay, that's cool. Well, that would explain it. That would explain it. That's pretty neat. Okay, it seems like though they don't have anything new to say. Like the trailer they showed is basically their big comeback for that game. Here's the thing. Like, I would definitely keep an eye out for it. I would keep an eye out for it. Yeah. Maybe they have something for content creators. But yeah, this was the recap for the Gamescom Opening Night Live 2022 and the games which catched my personal attention. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're on your way out, I would appreciate if you might leave a like. And if you didn't like this video for whatever reason, well, the dislike button is right next there. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see more reaction videos, more like opinion videos, gaming news, gameplay, and so on and so forth, you also came to the right place. And I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe to the channel, because it would help me out a ton. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Stay safe.